Awesome, awesome. Hey, hey. Oh, it's flipped. Okay, gotta remember that. Grand rising, great afternoon, good evening, and sweet tonight, lovelies. Lovelies, lovelies, lovelies. Grand rising, great afternoon, good evening, and sweet tonight. Let me know if it's lagging. It looks like it's trying to load. Um, if anybody can let me know. If not, I'm just gonna go into because I didn't want to hold y'all long. So I know it's kind of in the middle of day and some people are at work. And then this playback, um, I'm gonna let this live be a playback for those that, want to look at it later. But yeah, so yeah, I wanted to share just oh, and let me say this too. There's music playing in the background. It's meditation music. And it's on like the frequencies of the third eye chakra and the crown chakra. And so I wanted to raise the vibration and that frequency. I do not own the rights to this music. I want to say that. So, but how are you lovelies doing? I'm going to jump right into this. Okay, but how are you lovelies doing? If you hop on this live, hey. Um, I can see one out here, but yeah, I just want to be raw. I'm not having no makeup on. I'm just raw here, just beautifully glowing in the best of love, y'all. And yeah, so I'm gonna get this C raw because this is a raw message. Now I'm gonna read the steps and tips. These are just like some tips you can take what resonates for you. But to how to protect your energy, set boundaries, and this will help you escape or exit. Um, I'm share a little bit of my story before going into this. But the reason why I know protecting your energy and setting boundaries is like part of the first steps of escaping. And for those that know about escaping, it can be particularly if you feel you're in danger and not in a safe place, a safe environment, along those lines. And so hopefully y'all can hear me because I don't know if I'm like too low or I need to be louder, but let me see because I'm feeling. Oh, I don't know if I can y'all hear me. I hope y'all can hear me. I'm gonna get a little closer so y'all can hear me. Okay, I'm moving a little closer just so I can make sure the volume is okay. All right. Um, but sharing a little bit of my story is basically that I was in a home. I lived in a home during childhood where I was abused, and then I later in my adult life was also in a situation where I was in domestic abuse. Now, in that situation, I didn't even realize it was abuse until after I got out of the situation, which again, in most cases, trigger warning, forgot to say that, but um, when you're in those situations, you realize your mindset, becomes affected, the way you think, the way you view others and you hear others. Thankfully, I was more enlightened when I was in the domestic relationship than I was with the family. Because at that time, I was a child. It was more like going by their program, going by what, they think. And that whole mindset of staying in a child's place type mentality and rules. So because I grew up in that type of environment, I basically, went along with that type of program. But now that I'm older and adult and I have my own mindset, my own thoughts, and I'm basically marching to my own beat type thing. That's more of a thing of me going through healing for that exact reason. Okay. And me doing my own research and looking at what I go by, my own program type thing. So when you get to a point of wanting to do your own, wanting to march to your own beat type thing, it's really, oh yeah, forgive me. But it's really when you want to march to your own beat, it's really a thing of going inner, going inner, uh, taking moments and sitting alone with yourself and figure out who you truly are. When you are tapping into who you are as a person, then you can differentiate what's being projected upon you and what's truly you. Okay? And so, give me a sec. I don't want to clear the air. Yeah. My torch. My torch is not working. It's not that it's not working. It's done. It's over. All the fluid is gone, y'all. So forgive me for one moment. All right. One moment. Okay, let's get right into it. So if you find yourself, I'm speaking specifically to those that are currently in or who have someone near them that is needing this information to prepare for their exit, basically. And that's exit out of the matrix, exit out of the negative environment, exit out of whatever is not directing towards what they need to do, basically, like what they feel they need to do towards their purpose, towards the light, their higher being, their higher learning, their higher light. And they may feel as if, and I say they, but it could be you in this situation. But let me see, hold on one second, y'all. I wonder why this is saying X. Can y'all hear me? See, now I'm really thinking, I don't know if this volume is working. Hopefully it's working, y'all. Hopefully it's been working this whole time. Because I just realized it had like an X at the bottom too. My intuition is feeling some way. So anyway, I think that was just for the speakers. Hopefully y'all heard me this whole time. My microphone was working. Okay. So, anyway, but for the ones that are in a situation or they know someone that's in a situation where you are not feeling safe to be yourself and you feeling as if you're giving too much of yourself, either over pleasing or self-sabotaging. There seems to be blockages. This is for you, basically. A lot of things can just be like reactors or consequences of things. But if you do shadow work, you get down to the root of the situation, the root of the issue, the root of the problem. what you will find is it's either the lack of love or the overflow of love. And in these situations, I want to, because in shadow work, we're dealing with light and dark. So I want to shine a little bit of light on the dark parts, the parts where people feeling as if they don't have any hope. Let me use my light to shine on on those dark areas, because there is hope in those areas. There is options. You do have the power to come out of the situation. You do have the knowledge to come out of this situation. You have the power, you have the energy, and you have authority. All right. So I just want to encourage those that are feeling as if they're in a situation where they feel like they have no hope. This is a little bit of suggestions and tips to give you some knowledge and information on basically exiting out of those situations. Okay. So, protecting your energy. This is one. Okay. Daily meditation and affirmations. Now, these are suggestions, okay? You can do them in order or out of order, but daily meditation affirmations, it helps with your mindset. Again, it's going to start in your mind, it's going to start inner. This is nothing, most of it is nothing exterior, it's mostly interior. So it starts with us before we even, make any action. So having daily meditations, you could set a reminder or a calendar reminder like in your phone, or when you set an alarm and you can change the name of the alarm. I did this. Um, when you set your alarm and you can change the name of the alarm, change it to Wake Up Goddess, or Wake Up Beautiful, or Time to Start Your Day, King. Just give yourself those affirmations, or Grand Rising King. Like, setting those affirmations in those alarms actually help because then, your phone goes off and you see the affirmation popping up to you like, hello. Uh, I just learned about the word hello, so I'm not going to use it, but hey goddess, or hey queen, or empress, how's your day? Or you have a beautiful glow about you, empress. Like, or you are righteous, you are protected. Like, those affirmations. And for those that are dealing with self-sabotage, you feel like it's you against you, there are affirmations I actually have on my page. If you like to take some of those affirmations for yourself and use those for your daily affirmations, you're very well welcome to do so. You can either listen to the video or, take some of those affirmations and apply it for yourself. It's here for everybody. This is for the tribe, y'all. Okay, and then the second one is visualization techniques. Visualizing protective light surrounding you. So this goes into a little bit of Reiki. If you know about Reiki, it's more mind, spirit, uniting and doing the work. Okay, it's no physical touch. So you don't have to necessarily touch your body, but when it is in those forms of touching your body, you're pulling out. You don't have to make contact, but you're pulling out that stress, you're pulling out that pain. So it's literally having the spirit and the knowledge of where the knowledge is, being aware of where in your body, right? And then the spirit is doing the work. So all of that uniting together. But yeah, so taking those and visualizing techniques, visualize a protective light surrounding you. And then also, I want to take note back to the meditation. In meditation, you can also do that as well, visualizing yourself in a different way. This is definitely for those that feel as if they're in a home or environment that they don't feel safe. It's really good to not tap out, but to place that protective barrier, because you're still there. You're very much still physically there, but you can put up that protective barrier where you're not necessarily being affected as much by your surroundings, by your environment. Like, just because you're in a dirty or nasty energy environment doesn't mean you have to be. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so putting up that protective light, that protective barrier, that protective surrounding, that is also protecting your energy. So meditation is a good way to go in, of course, and align yourselves with that. um, Doing that on a daily is key, because daily, y'all, it's a daily thing. It's not no, oh, I'm gonna do it this day, but then not gonna do it the next day. Like, it's a daily thing, especially how everything is happening and it's happening quickly, you know? So, you tapping in on a daily basis is cool. It's gonna it's beneficial. It's beneficial. It's cool. I feel I heard somebody in the spirit like, oh, that's not cool. Like, that's doing too much. Like, only you gonna be thinking about that. Other people not really thinking about you like that. I feel like some people, they don't do it because they fear what people gonna look at them and, think about them. But they're not living your life. You're living your life. You're in your own shoes. So if you continue to keep thinking about what people think about you, then you're going to be living their life and you're not living yours. Okay? So let's live our life on purpose, with purpose and intention. All right? Okay. And then the third one is grounding practices. And this is one that could be done also in conjunction with meditation. I feel like all of these going to go back to meditation. Okay, so grounding practices um, is something you can also do with meditation. Now, not necessarily have to meditate, but going out in nature, yeah. Let me share my experience. So I was in this environment. I was one not in this environment, but I was in an environment at a time where I was like not feeling myself at all. I was like, my mind, my heart, my whole body just did not feel like me, right? I didn't feel at a place where I can fully flow and be me. And so during that moment of being there, let me put my phone on. Then being in that moment of being there, I was like, man, I gotta get outside. But the outside of where I was staying was not necessarily safe, quote unquote safe, right? So it was that fear that was placed, on me at that time. So my mindset at that time was running on fear as well. Okay, so get this, y'all, get this. So thankfully, I had a friend at the time where I had a friend. This was a friend that wasn't in the environment with me, and she saw me one day, and she was just like, "Girl, I ain't never seen you like this." Like, it was just, she recognized something's not right, something is totally off, something's totally wrong. Like, girl, what? And so she basically was like, encouraging me to go to the park with her. And I was like, at first I was like, oh, I don't feel like it, da da da. And then I was like, you know what? I need to get out this house. So I went to the park with her. And thankfully I did, because I felt so much better. Y'all, when I went to that park, At first, I didn't, want to get out the car or whatever. I was like, I'll just look at the trees through the window, that. And then once I got out the car, I was like, oh, I ended up hugging the tree. I ended up, talking to the tree, had some great conversations with the trees. I sat on the grass. I ran around frolicking all through the grass. Like, yeah, I got back to me. I allowed myself to truly be free in nature. And a lot of times I feel that humans in general, they lose the side of them that comes naturally. And we naturally find joy in nature as humans. Okay, those that don't like nature, you gonna find out that they're not necessarily human. Okay, but we're not gonna go on that side of things. We're gonna stay on track, stay focused. I'm helping myself stay focused. I'm talking to myself, not y'all. Okay. But yeah, so practice grounding. All right. And then also when in the grounding, you want to do a deep breathing. I call it breath work. Now I've heard of breath work uh like in the beginning stages of my awakening, and then I was reminded of it. What year was that? That was around like 2018. And I was like, when I heard it around that time, I was like, oh my God, yes. I was like, that's exactly what I have been doing, but I didn't even know there was a name. Like, I didn't put the two to two. Again, I heard of it before, didn't phase me, didn't resonate at the time, but then it was reminded in 2018, and I was like, that's exactly what I've been doing. So what I was doing at that time was I was taking and I would breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth. Now that alone was taught to me in PE in school. I don't know if y'all was taught that too, but while I was in school, mainly in high school. I mean, mainly in middle school. In middle school, they were teaching us how to breathe when we were after we running the tracks around the school or running the tracks around the park. We would have to, regulate our breath because people be like having their head down or they'd be like, being dramatic about they can't breathe because we just ran so much, whatever, or they out of breath. So regulating your breath calms your nerves. It helps with your nervous system, your mind. It helps with your respiratory system. Taking those breaths all the way from top and literally exhaling through your whole body. Again, it's the mind, because if you can imagine, use your intuition in your mind, imagine when you're breathing in new life, you're breathing in new energy, you're breathing in all of the good things that you need, right? For your good. And then exhaling out all the stress, exhaling out anxiety, exhaling out stagnation, exhaling out fear, whatever you need to exhale out, right? Exhale out all of those things and let it be from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. All right, imagine your whole body, your whole being, all the pain, all the aches being exhaled out of that breath. Breath work is very powerful, but yeah, that's deep work, okay? Moving right along. I don't want this to be too long for y'all, but it has some good nuggets, okay? If you take it, if you listen, take heed, all right? Take what resonates. Now that's the grounding, all right? Groundwork. And I want to add to that, and I just thought about it. Pay attention to your surroundings, because there are some areas that you don't want. Use your intuition. You don't want to go in areas that dang on well you should be putting your feet in. And y'all already know there's some ground that Mother Gaia is Mother Gaia, but there's some ground that was man-made on top of some really bad energy places. Use your intuition and let nature guide you, because nature is going to guide you, and your intuition will know, it will know the difference between, oh, let's ground here and let's stay away from the area type energy. You get what I'm saying? All right. So, mindful consumption, okay? Be mindful of the media you consume. Now, this is going towards the food, you being on social media, the people that you communicate with on a daily basis. What are you consuming? Is your environment, your circle, things that is for your good? Are they for your health? Are they for your wellness? Do people speak well to you? That is beneficial to have on a daily basis. It makes a difference when you have an environment, you have people, or you yourself, because these are things that you can control. Who is on your phone? How you talk to yourself, like when you look in the mirror and you talk to yourself. Also, what you see on a daily basis, as far as like TV, movies, social media, on your phone, whatever notifications popping up, you can control that, because you can turn off your notifications. You can go to settings and figure out, which settings to the notifications pop up or not. You have control over when you go to work. There's certain things you have control over: who you talk to, who you communicate with, who you sit and chat with. When somebody comes up to you and want to just blah all their issues and problems, we have to set up boundaries and be like, hold on, my energy not there today, because it's cool to be an empath. It's okay to be an empath and be able to pick up on people's energy and be able to transform it. See, I've gotten to the part where I can transform and transmute people's energy when they have bad energy and they get around me or whatever. It's not that I don't feel their feelings. I can feel it, but it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect my day. It doesn't throw me off. And that's a difference of people realizing, that. Okay. So when you realize that somebody's coming up to you and they have, bad energy or whatever, what you want to do is basically get to a point where you're able to transmute it, of course. And that's basically turning their negative into positive, right? Positive energy. Um, Either for you or for both of y'all. Or if you're not in that energy to transmute, then reserve your energy for yourself and communicate. Let them know, not today, or in a respectful way. I don't have the energy for this right now. Like I'm blank. I'm blunt about it. Like I'm straight up. I don't know, sugarcoat, beat around the bush. I was like, I don't have the energy for this today, and we talk about it another time, or like respectfully. That sound like a them problem, because most of the times that they be gossiping, especially at work. I don't want to hear that. That's gossip. I don't gossip. You keep that to yourself. That's them. You know what I'm saying? Like, be respectful about it, yes, but respect yourself, respect your energy, protect your energy, because hearing a bunch of gossip and other people's problems, then that makes it your problem. We're not doing that. We're handling our own problems, right? When we really don't have no problems, because we the solution, right? Right. I hear you, lovelies. Okay. So, we're gonna be mindful. Okay, regular cleansing. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, so there are a lot of tools you can use to cleanse. Sage. Ooh, little piece came out. Okay, and then you also have, this is Palo Santo. All right, and then there's another sage here, but basically, those are ones that you can fire up, light, whatever in the home, what have you. And then there's frankincense. That's cleansing the air, cleansing the home. You can also use it as a protective around you, but you could also use your crystals. Um, I don't, well, I have some on me, but and then you have jewelry. You could set a jewelry, but regular cleansing and a good. I think that's like a major daily cleansing way did you just do it automatically is to wear jewelry. Okay, just make sure you're cleansing your jewelry. If you're going to wear it on a daily basis, make sure you're cleansing your jewelry. Okay, and I say cleanse it depending on how much you be around exterior energy and how much you're dealing with um yeah, external energies. So if you're somebody that's in spiritual work, you want to cleanse your crystals and cleanse your home and your environment, your sacred space. You want to cleanse it definitely on a regular basis. As far as like if you're doing it all throughout the day, you want to cleanse it throughout the day to make sure you regulate and stay in your own energy and not having too much um outer exterior energies. Okay, and then also with that, um, oils. Oils, you can look up into different. There's a whole bunch of them, but there's oils. There's even colors. You can set up colors in your home that is cleansing. White, of course, is known as a cleanser color, a cleansing color, but also yellow, orange, green, definitely. And then they also, those colors also resonate with different chakras. So if you're aware of which chakra you're needing help with aligning, you can very well use those to align those chakras. Okay, and kind of like tap more into those. All right. Let's see. Yeah, Palo Santo. I love Palo Santo. Um, oh, salt baths. Baths. That's definitely when I was like thinking about baths. Okay, doing baths, and this is again for like protecting your energy, cleaning out your energy. In baths, you can take salt baths, you can take cleansing baths, you can take refreshing baths, rejuvenation baths. All of them basically are cleansing and rejuvenation. So cleansing out, evil, bad, whatever needs to be taken, whatever is not for you and not of you, then pouring back into yourself. So remember, as we're relieving out and we keep, people want to like cast out out. We have to pour back into ourselves. So that's loving and taking care of ourselves in ways of like baths, even if you want to put the crystals in the bath. But look up, I would say research, because some crystals don't belong in the water, they cleanse in the sun. Okay, so I would say research before you start throwing your crystals in the bath. But it's all about energy and your perspective. Okay, not gonna be too much longer. So that is regular cleansing, and then energy shields. Okay, setting up again those protective barriers. So setting up an energetic shield is to set up that protective, and then only allows positive energy to enter, those things that are for you to enter, and basically reflecting, deflecting those things that is not for you out. So it's like repellent. Okay. um Everywhere I lay my head, I put up a protective barrier, definitely. And that's on a travel type thing. If you like to travel, I feel that there's a lot of people definitely more traveling in these days than it was years ago, but I definitely want y'all to still keep in mind when you travel, setting up those protective barriers, uh, for just repelling out what is not for you. Those don't have any goodwill towards you. They don't think about your wellness. Protect, keeping those out, and then only those that care about your wellness and respect and love you, support you, appreciate you, stay near and dear. Okay. All right. And then uh yeah, we already talked about Reiki and balance the energy. Okay, so this is also some tips, and I'm gonna just go through these really fast because I kind of already touched on these about boundaries. Stuff popping up on the screen. Okay. All right. So in setting boundaries, and this is a list that Chat GPT gave me. But I have already said, a couple of things, but I like how this already intertwines into, what I was already thinking. Um, so setting boundaries. First, I say the first, even before this, is to do shadow work and know yourself, and knowing that the fact that you need boundaries, realizing and being aware that you actually need boundaries first. That is key, because a lot of people are like, there's some people that just still rejecting it and not realizing that they don't have boundaries and they actually need to set some. Like, yeah. So, okay, setting boundaries, first key they say is to know your limits. Understand your personal limits and recognize when you need to say no. Boom. Okay. Communicate clearly. Be direct. And I'm always like, you gotta be assertive. Be direct, okay? Be direct and clear when communicating your boundaries to others. Use I statements to express your needs and feelings. Okay, so this is what Chat GPT is suggesting. And also a key to that, I noticed when you're communicating to people about your boundaries or setting boundaries, you don't want to bring things up that are particularly surrounded by like pointing the finger and like pointing blame. So you don't want to use statements that have a lot of you in them. Like you're not making it about them. Like when you set boundaries, it's more to protect you. It's about you and your energy and your protection and what's best for you. So you want to like refrain from using so many you statements like towards the other person. Okay. Be consistent. That's the third one they're saying. So be consistent. Consistency reinforces your boundaries. Oh, baby. Man, I have said that so much in the past season. I've said that so much to so many people. Like, I've realized a lot of people, they'll get to the point of, okay, I don't have boundaries. I'm overworking myself. Okay, I need to set boundaries. They set the boundaries. And then when something comes up, boundaries are gone. They just they're it don't matter anymore. Like, no, there was a reason why you set the boundaries in the first place. Let's stand on that, okay? Let's stand on that. We have to. All right. So be consistent. And I say that comes with assertiveness too. Assertiveness and being direct, because honey, the boundaries are for you. There's gonna be people that's gonna push your boundaries. They're gonna be like, okay, you set those boundaries. I hear you. I see that. And then they're gonna still try to tiptoe over it because that's not their boundaries. They don't care. Some people don't care. There are those that respect and, they appreciate it. They see that you loving on yourself and caring for yourself, so they love and care on you as well. All right. But yeah, here we go. Let's go on to the next one. Staying consistent is the third one. The fourth one is prioritize self care. And this is very, very important too, especially when it comes to being in environments that don't exactly um, exuviate the love that you need, the love and care that you need. See my throat chakra being attacked. Let's rejuvenate. Okay. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. A little bit more water. There we go. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Okay. All right. So, prioritize self-care is the fourth one, all right? It's make time for activities that rejuvenate you. I would say that's very important, definitely when you're in environments that don't exude the love and the care that you exactly need in those situations, because it's something you still need to do for you. And I have I've said in a session just recently about you caring for yourself, mothering and fathering you, even when you didn't have a mother or father that loved and cared for you or protected you. You got to be that father for you. You have to mother, nurture you, right? And I'm realizing that that's a part of reparenting. You have to reparent yourself, reparent that part of you that may have felt neglected. That's healing neglection. If you've gone through neglection in any facet, you reparent yourself. It's rooted from childhood, whether you weren't or you were. It's rooted from childhood. Um, so the healing process starts in shadow work, first being aware, realizing it, and pouring that back into you. Okay, noticing that it's not there, so we're gonna put it there. All right. Okay. Oh, and I was hearing neglect too. So, like abandonment and neglect. Gosh, that was loud. Uh, make time for activities that rejuvenate you. The grounding. If you take those moments, those precious moments, and going and being in nature and grounding, that is part of self-care. That is very much a part of self-care, y'all. Okay. And then also I want to say with that too, what I realized for myself, it's not a one time, two time thing. Like I said, it's you don't have to go outside every day. It's essential, it's cool, it's good, like beneficial, hella beneficial to do that every day. But if you at least, and again, this is depending on your everyday basis. What are you doing every day? Where are you going every day? How do you work? Like, the type of work you do or whatever. But if you're at least twice a week going and grounding, okay? I know Sundays, a lot of people choose that day for rest and, getting ready for the coming week. Now, if you at least on Sundays, whatever you doing, most people are off work, most people, they choosing at the rest day, go and sit in some nature, go and sit in the sun. I promise you, you're not going to regret it. It's going to refill you, rejuvenate you. It's going to fill you up with so much beautifulness and greatness, honey. Take in that beautifulness, that peace, take in that joy, okay? And let go and release. Give back to Mother Nature. Mother Gaia wants to heal. That is what she literally has placed in all of these plants in this nature for us to be able to do so. So let's utilize what has been placed here for us to heal. All right. That's another tool. Okay. But it's very helpful. And stand on that. When you go. I realize a lot of people don't stand on that. They're like, oh, they go here, they go there, but then something comes up. Something comes up like, oh, this event is around this time. I usually go to the park. No, make it a ritual. Just like you so adamant about you gotta get to work and you gotta do this. Well, make that adamant. Be adamant about that. Stand on. No, I gotta go rejuvenate, cause I gotta be on my P's and Q's and my A1.1, my 100 when I go here or go there. So in order for me to be that way, I need to recharge. I need to heal. I need to reflect. And so doing that, going in nature is helpful, okay? Let's see. Surround yourself with positive people. We already touched on that. Um, but again, if you're in a place, and this is for the people that are in a place that you don't necessarily have it in your environment, let me remind you that family is who you make your family. Blood doesn't necessarily mean family. Blood is that they're in your lineage, and that's where your roots are. That's a part of where your roots are. But family, love, nurture, comfort, support is who you make, who you call family. So, um, just remind you that you have support out there. You have a tribe out there. You have a community out there for you. And they're closer than you think. They're closer than you think. They're closer than you think. If you're watching this right here, you're part of the tribe. So, welcome. You found your place. You found your tribe. All right. This is like the first steps, all right? And so just continuing on that, just put it in your heart and your mind. And this is part of meditation too. And part of your meditation, it doesn't have to be every time, but at least be intentional about welcoming in support, welcoming in love. Because a lot of people be like, oh, I want friends, I want this type of people, I want that type of person. But then you're not ready for them. They come in your life and you treat them dirty because you still dealing with anger, or you still dealing with neglect. So you afraid they gonna leave you. Like, it's just you bring it up. Oh, it says there's some things you still have to work on. And during meditation, if you make it intentional to open your mind and open your heart to receive those type of people, then that healing will begin, and it will bring about those triggers that you may thought you were letting go and you weren't aware of it. It will bring those triggers up. Those triggers are not to say, oh, that's the wrong person. Those triggers come up so you can be aware of what you need to release and what you need to heal. Okay? All right, excuse me, my bad. And so practice assertiveness. That's also in, setting the boundaries and standing firm on them, creating a safe space. So that is where I'm going to end it on. That's where I'm going to end it on. Creating a safe space. Definitely. I didn't realize I was going to be on here an hour, y'all. It's 48 minutes now. But hopefully y'all get y'all nuggets in this. I'm gonna end it on this kind of like example, a little part of my story. But when I was, and this was like a couple years ago, but I was homeless. I was technically homeless, right? So I was in the transition phase of my lease was up, moving out of my apartment and moving to another state. Well, tragic thing happened. That's a whole nother story. I may tell another time, but um, some things happen, and so I end up still being there in that other state. So during that time of transition, I did not have my sacred space because my lease just ended. I was out of my apartment. My apartment was my sanctuary, y'all. Literally my sanctuary. And it was not just a sanctuary for me. I created a sacred place where it was welcoming to many beings, many people. And I say beings because it wasn't just, humans, but literally it was a sacred space for many beings. And I created two portals, and I know there was one was in my bedroom and nobody knew the whole time, but I didn't know it was a portal at the time. I just knew it was a very specific sacred space for me and, you know, my ancestors and, spirit beings. Anyway, I say all that to say, once I moved out of my apartment, my lease was up, and I was going through all these different transitions and going through these things. There was a part of time, and I might tell this later again, where I was living in a shelter. Okay. I was living in a shelter. And so living in the shelters, of course, if you ever been in a situation where you lived in a shelter, there are, some things that you experience, that you see, and you hear, and you like, oh, this is for real, yeah. So I experienced all of that. That was a journey in itself. Um, but during that time, you're out of. I was out of my element. I'm gonna say for me, I was out of my element. I felt so displaced. You know what I'm saying? And it definitely takes you to like, oh my God, I want to be back in my apartment. I was just in my apartment. I was just in my element, my flow. Like I had my herbs. I was healing people. I was helping me. I was growing and flowing, and all these things happening, right? And truly felt I was in my element, my zone. And then that happened. It's like, oh, where's my sacred space? And trying to rejuvenate, trying to recharge. And I didn't have my altar. I didn't have, everything with me. All my things were in storage. So y'all, this is just a little bit of part of my recent story, like a couple years ago. But it's still recent today because there's still some things from that I'm still healing. And this is a healing journey. It's not a destination, y'all. It's a journey. So remember that none of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. We can strive for protection, for perfection. Y'all, look. We can strive for Yo, come on now. Protection. Yes, need protection. I keep want to say protection, 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 protection. All right, get that out. Protection, protection, protection. My words just want to keep saying protection, protection, protection. All right. Protection, protection, protection. Let me like this. So yeah, putting up those protection barriers and everything is definitely helpful. And having a sacred space within yourself, okay? Creating that sacred space within yourself. And that can only be done through meditation. I'm gonna be real with y'all. That is the only way you can go in. The only way it can happen is you going inside yourself and creating a sacred space and you being at peace within, you going in yourself. I'm telling you, from day one, from day one of me doing meditation, I've never turned back. That has always been like, whatever I do, there's different tools I use, different forms of, meditation, Reiki, going within and elevating and traveling, astro travel, like all of that. No matter what it is, I can always still come back to that root. I feel like meditation is just that root of all the others, like meditation is just the root. Okay, that's you started from the beginning. If you're starting from the beginning, Start with just sitting in silence, being aware of your thoughts, being aware of your body, what aches and pains, where's the relax, where's the peace at, where do you feel love at, where do you feel hurt at, like being aware of your thoughts and not necessarily trying to quiet your thoughts, but allowing them to flow and redirect them. You get what I'm saying? Like that's the whole point of that too when it comes to mind. Because you can manage your mind. To have control is knowing that you don't have control. My bad. I keep looking outside. It's the window in front of me, y'all. So if I look like I'm like dead out, like, but I love that. So yeah, just clear your energy, clear your vibe, and that start by going in meditation, going in the sun, sitting with yourself in silence. There's a lot you can discover when you sit with yourself in silence. Nobody can provide peace for you before you provide peace for yourself. I'm going to say that again. Nobody can provide peace for you before you provide peace for yourself. Once you are able to provide peace within yourself and for yourself, then you will truly be able to recognize when someone is coming around you with peace. When they come in peace. If you don't have peace in yourself, what that looks like is a very quiet person, someone that may speak softly, they speak in love, and they have true intentions, and they come to you and they say, Grand Rising. You know how I can tell when somebody don't have peace in themselves? Because when I first approached them with love and, pure heart, I'm just, walking and they just happen to pass me in the hallway and I say, Grand Rising. When they don't have peace, what you saying, Grand Rising? Me? Who are you? Like, y'all, so serious. That's when you know people ain't got peace in their heart. Y'all, come on, welcome peace in your heart. Welcome peace in your heart, inside of you, welcome peace in your sacral chakra too. And that's gonna take the sacral chakra and the root chakra. Once y'all welcome peace in those lower chakras, you will realize, because peace, mostly people talk about peace in the mind, peace in the heart, but what about peace down there, y'all? That looks like being that looks like being abstinent. There's action going on outside. I have to check. Okay, protecting, right? Being aware of your surroundings, but that looks like being abstinent. That looks like protecting yourself by not laying with everybody. You know what I'm saying? That peace down there, you don't let people disrupt your peace. Okay? That's peace. That's a part of you. That's treasure. Your stomach, depending on what you eat, you take in, are you disrupting your system, or are you bringing peace and love into your system? That's the things that you eat. And I'm not going to get into particularly specific what you should eat. And no, don't let nobody tell you that, because everybody has their own journey and everybody's not at the same place in their journey. So things work for your system, things work for somebody else's system. But yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully these nuggets help y'all on your journey and assist, give a little bit of light to what's going on right now. And yeah, I love you, lovelies. I wish the best for you in your journey. I would give you peace and love and grand rising, great afternoon, good evening, and sweet night. Love you, lovelies.